So Wilson, it's so nice to meet you here in Singapore. You basically almost finished my book. What do you think about my book?
This one is a very, very interesting read. What I've found is that it confirms the ideas that I had several years ago when I was asked to look at chaos theory in crisis management. And I think that we're getting closer and closer to the stage where internationally and locally we need to actually start thinking about what to do in a crisis management scenario for the benefit of local and international communities.
And I know today your work, if not your life, is about investigating future, and I know you're developing new tools. Can you tell me about these tools?
Yes, the most important thing is that we have only quite recently been given the power of the internet. We now have an enormous capacity to pull data from the constellation of documents that are available on the internet, and we need tools to be able to filter and focus those down to what is immediately important to a business person making a choice about an investment in a particular industry in a particular location. So that's the kind of tool that I've developed, and we're very pleased with what we've been able to do there.
So typically what kind of information you are gathering, and how do you process this information? Where does the information come from?
The information comes usually from about 4 sources. One is the information that's by law required to be posted by publicly listed corporations. They need to say what are the risks for people investing in their corporation. So that tells us information about the industry. The second thing is that the governments need to actually document the basis for their choices of policy and infrastructure investments. Those are in the government 5-year plans. Also, around the world, the military have very good documentation on what they are investing in to protect their local communities. The fourth area is what we call the grey power, the experience of the business people. These can be young people, they can be experienced older people, but we need to be able to capture that experience very quickly and very effectively in a matter of just a few hours, if possible.
So how do you capture it and how do you process it?
The way we capture it is by text analytics. We are using sophisticated text analytics tools to be able to capture the labels of future events and the source of the information. Our user community can actually directly enter the labels of future events that they're interested in. And the way we process it is in the standard method of a business intelligence database. It can be a simple SQL Server tool that is backed up behind our website.
So give me an example. Typically, I'm a very rich person. That's not the truth, huh? But let's say I am, and I want to invest in, I don't know, a specific area in a specific country. How would I use your tool?
The way you use the tool is, firstly you say, okay, I need to make a choice about whether to invest in a particular industry in a particular location within a certain period of time. I've got a window of opportunity here. It might be a few days, it might be a few months, but I need to actually find the information that I need to perform what we call due diligence, rapid due diligence. Now, there are 2 purposes for this. One is using the tool improves the chances of me getting it right. The second thing is that it allows me to explain to my colleagues what process I went through in making that choice, defending my investment choice in the future and learning from that experience.
I see. So you've been working on all this subject, like corporate planning and decision making for a very long time. How do you see it changing? I mean, the process of making the decision. How have you seen it changed in the past years? And maybe the most difficult question, how do you see it in the future? How people will make decisions, that kind of decision, in 10 years or 20 years?
Mostly they'll be making decisions on investment based on choices of industry and location, mainly from a fairly well-informed point of view, because the information is starting to become available from the global community in the databases like the OECD, and the organizations like the World Economic Forum are producing information that helps greatly in making these choices. The way that the people will actually interact with these is going to involve a lot more rapid response tools, and it's going to involve a lot of social media. There will be a lot of interface with social media, because the people need to take into account the opinions. One of my colleagues in Germany calls it the opinion of the swarm. What is the world thinking about this particular topic?
So what you're saying is that when you're going to look at this important decision, you're going to work on your own process and take external input, typically from social media. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah. And what that does is it improves the it improves the probability of you making a good choice. You're always talking about an investment in an industry, in a location, making a good choice, and the ability to actually replicate that process and to be able to audit the process is a big improvement on what's available until recently.
And you've been working in different, with people from all over the world. Do you see any difference in the way people make decisions, that kind of corporate strategic decision? Do you see differences?
Yes, in the Asian community tends to think differently to the European and American developed economy communities. In the Asian communities, there is still a lot of emphasis on cooperation and collaboration. They prefer to work with partners rather than become sole practitioners in a particular industry. And the Asian community is a lot more forgiving in terms of the learning process that organizations need to go through in this. But I think that the really big thing is the volume of the domestic market in China and India and Indonesia in particular is going to influence a lot of ways people do business.
Very interesting. Well, Wilson, thank you very much for all your insights, and I'm really looking forward to working together on these subjects, because I think all the tools you provide, your view on risk management, on decision processes, how to make the right decision, and all of what I'm doing about the world becoming chaotic, I think it's just like the perfect match. So thank you very much.
I think we're on very good territory. We're both on the same page.
Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you.